Hello everybody and welcome to another video. Today we are in my home country of Canada, but this time we're going to explore a little bit of the west side of the country, starting with Edmonton, Alberta.
Edmonton is the capital of Alberta and the 5th largest city in Canada. We've never been here before, but Brandon has family here, so we're super excited to finally get to check it out. To be honest, I'm not sure how exciting Edmonton is or if there's a lot to see here, but let's find out.
To make our transition from the UK back to Canada a little bit easier, we decided to start our day off at a place called the Sherlock Holmes Pub. And as the name suggests, it is a UK themed bar here in Edmonton. It's actually one of the longest standing bars in the city, so I guess there is a reason to come here, not just for the British theme. As soon as you walk in here, it really does remind me of some sort of sports bar or pub in the UK, especially the way that the walls are decorated. There's money stapled all over the place. I think there's football playing on the TV, and this building in general looks like some sort of old British cottage. There's like vines going up the wall. It's really, really cool. So we're excited that we're here, and we're starting off with a Molson Canadian beer, because of course we're in Canada, so we need to drink a Canadian beer. Delicious. Reminds me of my teenage years.
We actually only came here for drinks, but we saw a really interesting item on the menu, which is the Yorkshire pudding eggs Benedict. And it's basically eggs stuffed into Yorkshire puddings with hollandaise sauce. They're scrambled eggs, so that's quite interesting. But we couldn't say no to that. We love Yorkshire puddings. The eggs are so buttery. I really like the sauce. I wish I could be like maybe a little bit more. And the Yorkshire pudding, I feel like is a little bit like too crispy maybe? I don't know. It's almost tastes a bit cardboardy on the edges, so I feel like I guess they make them better in the UK, as they should. Good effort though, it's still tasty. These potatoes look delicious though. They're delicious, they're so crispy. Yum.
I'm gonna take this gigantic bite, so let's see how this goes. You're right, that is very buttery, almost too buttery, but it is really good. Is it an eggs Benedict? I don't know about that, not really. I don't even think I really taste hollandaise either necessarily, but it's still, as a breakfast item or brunch item, is really, really good. I like those little mini Yorkshire puddings, but of course, the UK does it better. It also comes with a random side of tomatoes, maybe because they know British people like tomatoes. I don't know.
But they should be like...
Yeah, they should be stewed, right? I don't know. I think the tomato addition is a little bit strange. All right, I'm gonna try one of these potatoes. Yeah, the potatoes are really good. They're like little smashed roasties, really crispy edges. Delicious. I'm really glad that we tried this, even though it's just decent. It's not the best breakfast in the world, but it's a very interesting concept.
I wonder if British people think this is like a bastardization of Yorkshire pudding or like a breakfast. I don't know. I'm really curious. We were trying to go to the downtown farmers market, but apparently it's closed. It doesn't exist anymore. There was nothing there, which was a bummer. But we were walking around and they have the drag festival going on right now, and that's super cool. They actually have a few stands and some people are selling like some jewelry and things like that, and food stands, so pretty cool. And there's a stage and of course there's performances. One thing you can do here is go to the Royal Alberta Museum, which is the largest museum in Western Canada. It has things like fossils and wildlife and other geological exhibitions. And it costs $21, which is a bit too much for us, so we're going to pass on that, but you should maybe check it out.
Near the museum, you can also find the Art Gallery of Alberta. It's been around since 1924, and it features art from local Canadians and also artists from all around the world. It costs $10 to go in, so of course, us poor people, we're not going to go in, but you should check it out if you come to Edmonton.
Edmonton has a huge arena in the middle of the city, the Rogers Place. They have hockey games and concerts here. I would love to go here one day. If you have the money for hockey tickets, you should probably check it out.
Yeah, I think this is where all the people come down to party when the playoffs are happening. You can always see it on the screen during the breaks or whatever. Everybody's like, yeah. I think they're all hanging out here outside of the center. So yeah, pretty cool if you're a hockey fan.
The downtown of Edmonton so far is pretty interesting and not really like any other cities I've visited in Canada so far. I feel like there's so many skyscrapers, quite a lot of empty lots. There's a lot of construction. There's not many people. And I assume it's because most people drive here, and the winters I think are like 6 months long. So most things I think are indoors. So it's quite different. Seems a bit, I guess, dead for a Saturday. But
Deadmonton.
Deadmonton. It reminds me kind of like when I was in Orlando and Buffalo in the States before, years ago. Yeah, definitely different than Toronto or Montreal, but still pretty cool. We're now at the Alberta Legislature building, where I guess they hold assemblies and things like that. You can get a free tour multiple times a day. We kind of missed that because we came here after 3 o'clock. I think it's only until 3 o'clock. It was built in 1913, I think, in the Borscht style. It looks super pretty, but since we're unlucky, there's so much construction around it, which kind of ruins it a bit. But it is really in a nice area with a park and right at the river. So I would love to see what it looks like when there's no construction. So you should definitely check it out when you're here. So we just went on the bus from downtown to the next spot. Edmonton seems to have the LRT, which I guess is like a train. I think they have a tram and also the bus, obviously, that's what we took. It was $3.50, which is quite expensive. And something to like take a note of is it's really hard to get bus tickets because you can only get them from like the vending machines in the LRT underground, and you can only pay with cash in the bus, and who has cash these days? So it was a bit difficult to get those tickets, but we made it.
We now came to a spot called Green Onion Cake Man, which if you're from Edmonton, you probably know about this place. There's actually 2 locations. It was opened by a man named Sue To. I'm sure I'm butchering it, but I think he came to Canada in 1978 and he opened up his first restaurant here. And one item he had on the menu was these green onion cakes, and they become extremely popular and apparently just spread throughout Edmonton. And now they're kind of a staple if you come here to the city. These are from northern China, but I'm pretty sure we've had something very similar in Taiwan and maybe also in Malaysia where we lived. So let me try this out. That is absolutely freaking delicious. It is super crispy on the outside. They clearly fry that in a lot of oil, but it's not too greasy. It's a little bit doughy. You can really taste that green onion. It's very, very savory. This is just absolutely delicious. This makes basically the perfect snack. They also serve it with a sweet chili dipping sauce, but I think on its own, it's incredible.
That was so good. They're a lot more like, I don't know, bready than I thought. I thought they would be more like this like flaky dough, but they're still delicious. And they definitely taste like things that I ate in Asia. Let me try this dipping sauce. I think this is just like normal sweet and sour sauce. I actually think it's better without it because they're really, really yummy and they don't really need a sauce. They're not really dry. What I found really interesting when we were at the Sherlock Holmes Pub earlier, they even had these. So they're really everywhere, which is kind of insane, like even at a British pub. They also had like dumplings and other items. I feel like everything would probably be pretty delicious there. We're now here at the Carrot Community Arts Coffee House for a little pit stop. They are a volunteer-run cafe and they're all about community development through the arts. So I think a lot of artists come here to like hang out with other artists. There's also like live music here sometimes, and they even have like little like jewelry stands and like art that they sell in there. I read online that they think they have some of the best coffee because it's like fair trade and things like that. And obviously they have carrot cake because their name is the carrot. And some people in the reviews were saying that this is the best carrot cake they've ever had. I got a chai latte and iced one. I've never had that before. Let me try it. It's delicious. It almost tastes a bit like horchata now.
It looked like horchata because of the cinnamon on top.
Has the cinnamon on top, and because it's iced, it's really yummy. Carrot cake is one of my favorite cakes. It just looks so like nice and gooey with the cream cheese on top. That icing is so good. That's literally how a carrot cake should be. I love it.
I also love carrot cake, so I have very high expectations for this. And as Ani said, this icing, this cream cheese icing frosting looks so good. It's very dense. I feel like I'm gonna break my plastic fork. Yeah, that's amazing. The frosting is so creamy, you're right. I feel like this is the best part. It is a pretty traditional carrot cake, but I mean, as far as carrot cakes go, it's a delicious carrot cake. I can't really imagine it being better, to be honest. Yeah, this is very, very good. And of course, if you watch our channel at all, you know that Ani doesn't drink coffee, so naturally I had to take one for the team and get one of these delicious iced coffees. I know, I love coffee. I'm just saying. That is delicious. Is it the best coffee in the world? I don't know. I don't know about that. Best coffee in Edmonton? I don't know. I haven't been in Edmonton that long, but it is a very good coffee and it is super refreshing. Very creamy, very milky. Not too strong though. I like my coffee a little bit more strong, but still very, very good.
This cafe has been around since 2007 apparently. I think it is a bit on the pricier side, to be honest. But I guess it's like for the community and people here are volunteers. I find that kind of amazing, I suppose. You can even like sign up on the website to volunteer here. And the stuff is super nice. So yeah, you should check this out, especially if you like arts. And I think this area is actually quite cool. There's a lot of street art and I saw some like people doing art in this art school through the windows. So yeah, I like it.
Although Edmonton isn't the most exciting city and the downtown isn't the best, it does feel like a very family-friendly city. On the outskirts of the downtown, there's a bunch of different suburbs all over the place, and there's some very nice and very interesting neighborhoods and houses. We saw a house that looked like a wooden cabin. We saw some houses that looked straight out of the 50s. Some houses look very modern, and from what we've heard, the housing is more affordable here compared to other places in Canada. It's also located on the Saskatchewan River, and there's plenty of green spaces all around the city, which is something that we really like as well. So we can definitely see why families would want to live here. For us, we like a more hustling and bustling city, so maybe it's not for us, but it's still a cool city and we're really glad that we got to come here and check it out. It is now time for some dinner, and we went to a pretty famous place called Uncle Ed's Restaurant. Now, if you don't know Uncle Ed's, it is actually a Ukrainian restaurant. It has a little convenience store slash deli attached to it as well, which I think the deli is called Sheniki's or something like that. Sure, I butchered it again. Something interesting about Edmonton is that there is a huge population of Ukrainians here. I think there's over 14%, and I think since the war has begun, even more Ukrainians have fled here. But the first Ukrainians came here in like June of 1892, so a very long time ago. If you know Canada, Canada itself is only 100-something years old, so pretty impressive. But enough of that, let's go on with the food. The first thing we're starting with is borscht. Now, if you don't know what borscht is, it's a beet and cabbage soup. It usually has this dark red color, and usually you put sour cream on top, which we do have, but I want to try it straight up first. This is actually probably one of our favorite soups, to be honest. There's massive chunks of beetroot and cabbage in here. Oh, that is so good. We have actually been to Ukraine before. They also serve this in some other places like Poland and some other Eastern European countries. Absolutely amazing. It's really tart and a little bit sour. It has that earthy taste that you get from beetroot. Yeah, this is really good, but now I think we need to add a little bit of sour cream.
This looks delicious. I love how it has so many chunks, like so much beetroot. They're not always like this. That sour cream, it's so good. It works so well together. It's so acidic. Probably some of the best borscht I've had. Definitely the best one outside of Europe. We recently had one in Halifax, which wasn't as good. This is the real deal. This is divine. This place was actually packed. There were so many people wanting to be seated. And since the place is closing at 6:30 and we were here at like 5 or something, we decided to get takeaway and go to a local park, and now we're here all alone, able to enjoy food. We ordered 2 meals. One of them is sausages and the other one is meatballs. And basically, if you order the full meal, they come with like 4 cabbage rolls, 4 pierogis, or veroniki, because those are the Russian ones or the Ukrainian ones, and cheese buns and cheese pancakes with dill sauce. It looks so good. And it was quite affordable. It was like $17 per plate. And this is massive. I'm going to start with the pierogis. We got sauerkraut and potato and cottage cheese. Let's see which one this is. I have no idea. It's cottage cheese. That's really yummy. Actually, I don't know, because they're kind of sour. Maybe this is sauerkraut, because it's sour. I don't know.
This one is definitely cottage cheese and potato, which means the one that Anya tried was the sauerkraut one. It makes sense. Yeah, this one's really good. I like that it comes with bacon and caramelized onions on top, as it should. And with this sour cream, it's just the perfect combination. I'm going to try the Mundair sausage, which was, I think, their #1 sausage. I think Mundair is actually a place in Edmonton, and that is where they opened their first general store before this Stanichies came to Edmonton. So I guess that's where it gets its name. Oh, it smells delicious. That is really tasty, really meaty. It's a little bit oily. It doesn't quite taste how I would expect a sausage to taste. It doesn't taste like a bratwurst or anything like that. It's much more firm. It tastes more like, I don't know, the pepperoni that you would get back home in Halifax, where I'm from. It has a nice crisp outside, a nice crunch. Yeah, it's very good, but definitely not what I was expecting.
I really like the sausage. It reminds me of kind of like a mix of like a really, really snappy hot dog and Austrian sausage, like the Käsekreiner that we had in Vienna, just without the cheese. I like it. So they have 2 types of cabbage rolls, sweet or sour. We got both, but again, I'm not sure which one's which. These look really good. There's so much rice in them. They're not like meat filled or anything like that. At least this one isn't. I'll put some dill sauce on top. I like that. It feels so light because it's just rice. It's kind of odd. I've never had a cabbage roll like this because usually it has meat inside, maybe like some vegetables or something. I don't know. This is quite like a good light side.
Yeah, we've definitely never had a cabbage roll without meat before, but that's still really good. And as Ani said, it's very light and it's a good accompaniment to this heavy Ukrainian food. I'm now going to try the cheese pancake. This is already falling apart, so let's eat this. That is really good. The inside is definitely a cottage type of cheese. It's a little bit dry, but you have that creamy dill sauce all over top, so that helps it go down. The pancake is really light and fluffy. It's not really a North American pancake, obviously. It's more like a crepe style.
I'm curious what these are going to be like, the cheese buns. I really like the cheese in there. I don't know if it's just cottage cheese. It might also be potato in there too. I don't know. I just really like it. It's like this really fluffy kind of fried dough on the outside, and then it's filled with this like cheese paste. It's good. It works well with the dill sauce. It's yummy.
The final item is the meatballs with gravy and mushroom sauce. It looks absolutely delicious. It has these big chunks of mushrooms, but it looks like they could be canned mushrooms. I don't know. Let's see. This definitely has the taste of like a Salisbury steak. That's totally what it reminds me of, that gravy with the mushrooms and then the beef balls, the beef meatballs. Yeah, that's what it reminds me of. They're a little bit dry. They kind of got stuck in my throat when I was trying to swallow them, but it's still really good.
Oh yeah, these are super hard, like super dense. They remind me of German meatballs, like the Buletten. I always say that. It's definitely legit meat, and there's all this like, I mean, it's not like...
It's cat.
It tastes like really homemade, I mean, like with like ground pork or something. Is that what it is? I don't know, but there's a lot of like fat bits and whatever. Yeah, I like it. I like the gravy too.
After trying everything, I still think that the Borscht was probably the best thing. But as Ani mentioned earlier, this is a great value. That Yorkshire Benedict that we had earlier was $20, and one of these plates is only $17 or $18, and it comes with all these different things that you can try. So if you're ever in Edmonton, we highly recommend checking out Uncle Ed's restaurant because it's very good. And although the Ukrainian food in the Ukraine is better, it's still a good substitute.
I really love those pancakes filled with cottage cheese, I think. The cheese is so good. It's like, it tastes also so like dilly. Is that a word? Because there's like also these little specks, I think, inside the cheese. So good. I think pancakes, borscht, and cabbage rolls is my favorite. This is the end of our video. We had a great time in Edmonton, even though it's maybe not the most exciting. It's not as boring as we thought. And now we're actually going to go on to some other places in Canada, like Calgary, Vancouver, and Banff, of course. So don't miss that.
If you like this video, please give it a like, write us a comment, and by far the most important thing is to hit that subscribe button. But for now, that is it, and we will see you all in the next one.
Bye.